Another month has gone by and we are officially halfway through the year and the numbers are in for Tampa Bay. So let's go. What is going on YouTube? If you are new to the channel, welcome. And if you are returning, welcome back to the Living in Tampa Bay channel. I am your host, Shandon Kiah, and your trusted real estate advisor for the Tampa Bay area. At the end of every month, it is my job to keep you guys updated on what's going on in the Tampa Bay real estate market. So I like to provide you guys some data that I acquire from my local MLS to keep you guys in the loop for trends and price action that is currently happening within our market. In these videos, I cover all residential properties, including single family, multifamily, condos, and townhomes, and I fully encompass the entirety of Tampa Bay, including Hillsborough, Pinellas, Pasco, and Manatee counties. To get a grasp on what's going on, I cover 3 key metrics of data, which are going to be active inventory, the average days to sell, which is from list to close, and then the average sale price for each county respectively. And before we begin, I'd like to remind you guys that I am a licensed agent in the state of Florida. So if you have real estate goals, questions, or dreams and need to buy or sell a property in Florida, please do not hesitate to reach out. I'll drop my contact information on screen so you guys can get in touch, and never hesitate to give me a call, send me a text, shoot me an email, as I'm always here to be a resource for you. And if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please be sure to go down, like, comment, and hit that subscribe button, because it genuinely helps me continue to create more content like this for you guys. Now, starting off as usual with Hillsborough County, we have an active inventory of 6,523 properties, an increase from what we saw last month, taking an average of 58 days to sell, a decrease from May, and an average sale price of $556,687, an increase from what we saw a month ago. Second on our list is Pinellas County, with an active inventory of 7,459 properties, taking an average of 74 days to sell, and an average sale price of $535,307, all 3 of which are decreases from what we saw back in May. Third is Pasco County, with an active inventory of 4,818 properties, taking an average of 67 days to sell, both increases from a month ago, and an average sale price of $375,603, a decrease from what we saw a month ago. And last but not least, we have Manatee County, with an active inventory of 4,424 properties, taking an average of 76 days to sell, and an average sale price of $565,797, 3 decreases from what we saw last month, same as Pinellas County. Now, the first thing I notice as we get through our first month of summer, which is typically our highest activity here in Florida, there are some drastic changes across the counties in both property values and inventory. The first trend I picked up on is that Pinellas and Manatee County have red in all 3 categories: less inventory, less time to sell, and lower property values. Pinellas County as high as almost a 6.5% decrease from what we saw in just 30 days. What this tells me is there's a big correction coming to these areas where luxury and new builds have been thriving. That is not the case anymore. And this past month has been more investor driven, which is why the deals are closing faster. There's less inventory because those sellers who feel like they missed a boat, aren't getting what they want, have pulled their property off the market, combined with the fact that more properties have been selling at a lower price point. And then of course, those investor deals that are closing at a lesser value are bringing that average down. Now, contrary to Hillsborough and Pasco, we're seeing almost the opposite. We know that people are getting priced out of Manatee and Pinellas County and are flocking to areas of Hillsborough and Pasco because it's more affordable. And for that reason, demand increases. They're taking less time to sell in Hillsborough County, and we see a spike in inventory because sellers are saying, you know what, my area is going up in value, maybe I should put my property on the market. And that is just what I am both seeing and anticipating from the mindset of a seller. And this always goes back to the simple supply and demand principle. When demand increases, values increase. And because we have that influx of buyers moving into Hillsborough and Pasco County, we have property values having a major increase in Hillsborough County, almost up 6%, just shy of 6%, which is a pretty drastic increase in just a month. Now you might be thinking, why are deals closing so much faster in Hillsborough County than the rest? And I think it could be a couple of things. One, I see a ton of developers, there's a ton of development happening in Tampa all the time. And usually when that's the case, these deals move quickly. These investors can't afford to have their money tied up in one deal. So the deals have to move quick in order for the money to turn over as quickly as possible. And on the back end of that, you have a finished product that is typically new construction, where you don't have to jump through the hoops of going through inspections and repairs to draw out that contract and end up with a longer close. The buyer at the end of the deal ends up in a brand new product, brand new home, not necessarily skipping inspections, but skipping over those repairs that lead to a much quicker, comfortable close. And one thing I always like to touch on is, you see in Manatee County, the average days to sell typically tends to be the highest because we have a bunch of new construction development happening down there between all the builders. And you know, they do have quick move-in ready homes, but a lot of people who are shopping new construction like to build from the ground up. So those build processes are anywhere from 3 to 8 months. And if that's the case, then those contracts that are taking longer to close can be pulling that average up, depending on how quickly the builder is moving, how quickly it takes to close. But given we've seen a small decrease in contract or from list to close in Manatee County, is reassuring that the builders are moving quickly, and there's still a ton of retail deals that are happening rather quicker as well. Now, I hate to bore you guys with too much data in these videos, so I'll wrap up the numbers there, but I do want to remind you guys that the market right now is still very much in the buyer's favor. So with that being said, I will tell you that if you are shopping for a home and you think you're ready, then go ahead and get pre-approved, find out what your budget is, and start making offers to these sellers, because you never know what someone will accept. I recently had a client go under contract for $50,000 under what the seller was asking for, and was still able to get some concessions paid for. So there's some really, really good deals to be had out there, and never be too afraid to send an offer even if you think it's a low ball. And for that, I'll drop my buyers who are watching a little piece of value, and I'm gonna put a link in the description of this video for my free home buyer guide for 2026. We have 6 months left in the year. That is plenty of time to get yourself set up, to be in a home, be comfortable, and be in a place where you can best benefit your future self and family. And I can't forget about my sellers who may be watching this video. Unfortunately, the buyer is not in your favor right now. And for that reason, you have to prepare your property for the market prior to putting it on the market. And that means a proper and effective pricing strategy, pricing slightly below market value, having a pre-appraisal done so you're not shooting in the dark on what the value of the property may be, having a pre-inspection done so you know the 4-point items and cosmetic items that need to be taken care of, instead of a buyer having to have that on their shoulders by the time they go under contract. And then of course, combined with all that, a proper marketing strategy to get you the most exposure, to get the most buyers in the door, to get the most offers on the table, to get you the greatest financial outcome for the sale of your property. And for that, I have some value for you as well. And I'll drop a link to my free sold playbook. It is my step-by-step guide on how I've helped my sellers get the greatest outcome on the sale of their property. And for access to that, the process is the exact same. The link will be in the description of this video. Just copy and paste it into your search bar. It'll take you to the PDF completely free. As I said earlier, it is my job as your local market expert to keep you guys updated on exactly what's going on in the market. So with these videos, I do exactly that. So with that, I'll remind you guys again that I am a licensed agent in the state of Florida. So if you have goals to buy a home by the end of this year, or have some properties or a property you need to get rid of, or you are selling and want to upgrade, or selling and want to downgrade, I can help you put those plans together and make the transaction as smooth as possible. So I'm going to drop my contact information on screen so you guys can get in touch, and never ever hesitate to reach out with any questions you may have. I'm always here to be a resource for you. And again, if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please be sure to go down, like, comment, and hit that subscribe button, because it genuinely helps me continue to create more content like this for you guys. And we are slowly but surely approaching 300 subscribers on the channel, and I can't thank you guys enough. So when we reach that point, we will be doing another giveaway. I gave away $200 for my 200 subscribers just a couple months ago, and I plan on doing something of the sort, hopefully collaborate with some local vendors. So if you're seeing this and that's someone that you know, or that's you and want to collaborate, please don't hesitate to reach out on that either. I'll be seeing you guys on the next video. Peace.